Homer led the league in tackles with 85. The deep ball for Darius Prince, and Philadelphia's on the board first.
On the draw, this is Bryson Allen. And Allen weaving his way all the way down to the 22.
10-yard line, 5. Mayfield, dancing all around. Throw it as far as he can throw it. Jump ball coming. Crazy stuff. Not this time.
And you want to be a wide receiver, you're going to have to take a little bit of a hit like that as Brown got him in that shoulder, but watch. Oh, those are teeth.
Do we have a dentist on staff here?
Today we're joined by the first and only general manager and head coach in Vegas Nighthawks history, Coach Mike Davis. Coach, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good, Sam. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much again for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time out. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into this. I mean, how did your love for football first begin?
Man, I grew up in Blacksburg, Virginia, just kind of literally playing football and baseball. Just, when you're in some towns, there's only a few things to do, and just fell in love with it, and was actually a better baseball player than I was a football player growing up.
Interesting. I would not have guessed that. When did you first become involved with indoor football? I think we're having a bit of connection difficulties at the moment. Oh, there we go. When did you first become involved with indoor football? Oh, okay. We'll try and get Coach right back. Give me just a moment. I'm going to play a quick commercial from one of our sponsors, and we'll go ahead and get this figured out.
I'm just being myself, cool as can be. When I'm being myself, you wish you were me. It's so easy. Get out your own way. It's just so easy.
All right. Looks like we got Coach back. Coach, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, we're all good. Sorry about that, Sam.
Oh, you're all good, man. When did you first become involved with indoor football?
Oh, man. Right after my senior year in college, my college roommate, it was a huge older than me, was playing for
Give us just
my college roommate, which was – is that better?
It
Sam,
seems to be, yeah.
Yeah, so my college roommate actually was Cornelius White, and he was playing for the Carolina Cobras in the Arena Football League at the time. So knowing that I wasn't an NFL prospect, it just kind of stumbled onto the arena game, and the rest is history.
Interesting. So I actually was not aware of that. Did you actually play in the Arena League?
I played in the arena too. I was, I was a linebacker in college. So for me, it was either gain 30 pounds and play fullback Mac or play or not play. So I actually ended up playing in the arena too for a few years, and then stumbled into coaching. Actually, one of my previous coaches, Rick Richards, was the coach in St. Louis, and that's how I met Coach Pimmel. And Coach Pimmel actually gave me the opportunity because he knew the owner there, and he kind of was the head coach, and I took over. I was went from playing to being the DC, and then the rest is history.
Interesting. So right from the playing field into the coaching, that's interesting.
Mhm.
So I know you were with Omaha for a little bit. When did that all come about?
So I went when I left River City in St. Louis. I went to La Crosse, Wisconsin. Coach Pimmel went to Omaha. La Crosse was a train wreck, so Coach Pimmel hired me in Omaha.
Gotcha. Okay, so you guys have been working together for many, many years then at this
Yeah,
point.
I mean it's probably 15 years, close.
Very nice. Very nice. I like that. I'm a big fan of Coach Pimmel, as you know. So before the 2011 season, you end up getting hired as the head coach for the Nebraska Danger. You coached them in their first season in the IFL. Was that your first opportunity as a head coach at that time?
It was. Got an opportunity to meet Charlie Bosselman and Brian Fausch in the Grand Island, and end up. Actually, I didn't get hired as the head coach to begin with. It was actually Sean Ponder, and I don't need to talk about that situation, but he didn't end up starting the season, so they ways. I ended up taking over as the head coach and the assistant GM. Mike McCoy was actually the GM at the time, and then the whole Nebraska run started.
Now, is that the same Mike McCoy that's in the AFL currently?
That is.
Wow, it is a small world when it comes to indoor football.
Very, very small. If you haven't figured that out yet, it's very small.
No doubt. So in 4 of your 6 seasons with Nebraska, you end up leading the team to the playoffs and a playoff victory at that. I mean, was it difficult to ultimately kind of step away from Nebraska knowing that you didn't kind of achieve the bigger goal of the championship when you took the position with Saskatchewan?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, you start something and you want it. The end goal is always the championship every season, and we came up short 3 times, unfortunately. The culture was there, and then I had some guys on my staff, hurt his chin, Pig Brown, guys like that. When the opportunity came to go to the CFL, it's kind of what we all dream about. Hey, you want to be in the CFL, the NFL, and so I had to take that opportunity to just to try it and see what it was. Had 7 great years up there, learned a ton, met some great connections, which I still use now.
Absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually started in the personnel department with Saskatchewan?
Yeah, so I went up there after our season in, oh God, what was this, 2015, I believe, 2015? I don't know, the years run together. I think it was 2015, but the years seem to run together. So I went up there after our season, helped in the personnel side, helped with the D line. But I was the manager of player personnel to start out, and that was my off-season role. And then moved into helping with personnel and then doing D line and DBs and things like that.
Very nice. And then it was right before the 2020 season that you were hired by Toronto, correct?
Correct. So I had some opportunities. The guys that I knew in Saskatchewan got hired other places. I had an opportunity to come to the States and interview for a couple jobs. For people who don't know, the CFL timeline is very, very tough. The season ends during like our Thanksgiving in November, and then you sign contracts before January 1st. So most time in the college world, the cycle just makes it tough. They're just finishing. I wanted to interview with a couple jobs down south. Didn't end up finalizing and coming through. So ended up getting hired by Toronto.
Gotcha. And then prior to the 2020 season, as we all know, the CFL ends up having to shut down. Do you remember where you were at and kind of how you ended up finding out about the 2020 cancellation?
Yeah, actually, I was with my fiance, now wife. We were in Saskatchewan because she's Canadian. She's from Saskatchewan, and we were actually meeting as a staff, getting ready for the season. And then after that, they told us, hey, we're going to shut down. So we just move forward for game planning and getting all our new playbooks and stuff ready for 2021.
Gotcha. And then you ultimately ended up stepping away just before the 2021 season, and that was into Vegas, correct?
Correct. I was actually coaching some kids, doing some training, and I got a text message from the ownership group, and it was like, "Hey, we want to talk to you about an opportunity." And kind of asked my wife, who were these people, and found out who they were. And a billionaire, you got to listen.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, how did they ultimately end up luring you back to the indoor football game?
When I talked to the president, Kerry, and Bill Foley, it was, obviously the IFL has budget restraints as far as pay and things like that. And I told him, listen, how $1 million athletes are supposed to be treated. I know these guys can't get paid thousands of dollars. The IFL budget's $250. So at that point, plus and at that point, we spoke about, having the meals first class and the housing first class and the training facility first class, which, we house out of a $100 million facility in the Dollar Home Center. It's, and it's beautiful.
Absolutely. So, I mean, if you can't necessarily go above and beyond the cap, but you can take care of your players. And as you said, the $1 million manner. So I like that a lot. Looks like we might have lost coach again. Give me just a sec. Go ahead and play a quick commercial. We'll get right back to it.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Get in the game at BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Over 50 sports, live betting, online casino, horse racing, esports, and more. Start now and enjoy easy to...
All right, looks like we got him back. Sorry about that, everybody. Just shortly after you were with Vegas, you were actually named to the Nebraska Danger Hall of Fame. What did that mean to you at the time?
I mean, it's an honor. Obviously, I think there's 6 or 7, 6 guys I think that are in the Hall of Fame, and it's more about what people think of you. Obviously, I don't do this to worry about people think that Coach Davis is this or that. You know what I'm saying? I do this for the players, and to have them kind of come through and say, hey, you know what, he needs to be in this. I mean, it just tells you what type of guys we've had around.
I would agree. It's one of those things that I feel is more of a symbolic thing of what people, took from what you were able to do in your time there. But one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting, and I guess I wasn't really aware of this at the time, but heading into 2024, you've actually brought back a couple coaches, Curtis Chin, Xavier Jackson. Some coaches, I think, might shy away from hiring a guy like Curtis Chin as their offensive coordinator because of his 2023 IFL Coach of the Year run, his 2022 Assistant Coach of the Year run. Did you have any reservations about reuniting with Curtis as your offensive coordinator?
When I got into this business, it was always, if I'm the smartest guy in the room, we're in trouble. Hire great coaches, surround yourself with great people, and you guys uplift one another. I was actually set to hire Billy back, to be honest with you.
Really?
And he ended up going to Tucson, and then kind of came full circle, and then I finally got in touch with Curtis, and it's a great situation for me because I don't have to worry about the offense anymore. I can go back and do the defense and oversee the team, and he can run the offense full-fledged how he wants to run it, and I have no reservations whatsoever.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you could kind of correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it seems like you guys have kind of one of the bigger staffs in the IFL when it comes to the coaching staffs. Is that by design so you can kind of actually develop players while they're there, or is that just how it's kind of worked out over your time there?
It's kind of worked out because we had some local guys. This year we actually went to a little smaller staff, but we have a couple local guys that, Coach Bly's helps with our quarterbacks. He's offense coordinator at Liberty, one of the powerhouse high schools here in the area. Coach Espio, Coach E is helps with linebackers, and then Xavier comes in and does the D line. I'll handle the DBs, and then Coach Chin and Coach Caldwell Brown will handle the offense.
There you go. So at this point in your career, obviously, as we've talked about, you've spent time with multiple different organizations, leagues, teams. How does Vegas compare to your time with all these other teams?
I mean, first of all, it's Vegas. It's always nice, but I've been blessed to have some great owners. Even from the time with St. Louis, Omaha, same owners, Charlie Bosselman and company, best in the business, and then now the Foley group with Bill and Rob Foley. There's it's just second to none. What I enjoy about them is everybody has been, hey, this is what we want to make happen, and here's the parameters you have. Go run the football team.
I love that. And one of the things that you've done very well, and it's one of the things that stuck out to me in particular, because I follow the leagues like the CFL, the UFL, et cetera, is you've done a very good job of developing a pipeline to the outdoor football leagues that these guys want to get to, specifically the CFL. So I kind of was hoping you could kind of lend some insight on how you've been able to build these relationships with the CFL, other than obviously your time up there. And how it's kind of benefited the players that you brought into Vegas.
Well, first of all, it takes good players, right? And I'm not talking about players that have been in the CFL or been in the XFL or the UFL or the NFL, right? Like, our job in this league is to develop guys and help them work on some things to get them to the next level. So when you develop those relationships with other GMs or head coaches, if they ask you about a player, you better tell them the truth, and you better tell them, hey, listen, what's this guy looking for? What's this guy look like? What's he need to work on? Even for guys who haven't been on my team, everybody that's been signed in IFL, I bet you haven't had a conversation about them to a CFL personnel guy, because every one of them have called me about that guy.
I could definitely see that. They obviously have to look everywhere for talent, and the IFL is a great source of it, so why not? So kind of my final question for you today is, what's your ultimate long-term goal as a coach and a general manager?
Just to keep helping these kids. Everybody says, oh, I want to go to the NFL. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm okay. I love being in Vegas. We have a place, my wife, and we have a son that, a 10-month, about to be a year-old son that we're content in Vegas, and I'll be here. I'll be here as long as they're going to have me. I don't live by, I want to get to here, I want to get to there. That's not, I got to worry about where I preach about being where your feet are. I got to do the same thing as a coach, and my staff does the same thing.
I love that. Well, real quick before we let you get out of here, is there anyone you want to shout out?
Nah, man. Obviously, we talked about Coach P. That's my guy. Just excited to see what happens here. Obviously, anytime you have great ownership, that's where it all starts. And these players just, the only advice I can give to anybody is everybody wants to see you play. So I don't care if it's the IFL, the AFL, the NAL, whatever. Get film. Don't stand there. I can't stand hearing guys like, oh, coach, I'm just training, working out. Nobody wants to see that, because it doesn't work that way.
Great advice from a person who would know very well. From the CFL level, the IFL level, multiple levels at that. So definitely great advice. Coach, thank you so much for your time today. I know you got a lot going on, so I'll let you get out of here. We'll definitely have to talk again at some point, hopefully closer to the season after we have the roster completely wrapped up.
Perfect. Anytime, Sam. I appreciate it, man.
Definitely. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you later.
You too.
All right, that was Mike Davis, head coach and general manager of the Vegas Nighthawks. As you all know, somebody who I look up to, have definitely watched and kind of admired how he's built this pathway to the outdoor leagues for these players from the IFL and specifically his team. And and he's done a great job doing it. Now he's brought up Evan Wilsmore, who I think is going to be an up-and-coming name in the scouting world as well. So excited for what 2024 brings for Vegas and the IFL in particular. I know we've been doing a lot of AFL coverage. I wanted to remind everybody that we still love the IFL. In fact, it's quite frankly my favorite league, if I'm being honest. So that is definitely one reason why I want to make sure that we get some more IFL coverage on here recently and heading into the future. So stay tuned if you're an IFL fan. I swear we're not just AFL enthusiasts. We watch and listen to all these leagues. So definitely continue to tune in, subscribe, like, follow, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
I'm a game changer.